Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Spanish ebook before it's gone. Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1. Find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2. Work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3. Learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hola, soy Brenda, tu profesora de español. Hoy tengo 5 frases argentinas, típicas de Argentina. Today I would like to share with you 5 typical phrases from Argentina. Número 1. Agárrate, Catalina. So we use this phrase as a warning when we want to warn someone, or when we want to say that there is a situation coming up that is not going to be easy. And we use this phrase in Argentina all the time. Let me tell you where this phrase is coming from. So Catalina was a trapezist, so she used to work in a circus in the 40s in Buenos Aires. And her great-grandmother, her grandmother and mother actually also worked for the circus, and they passed away. They actually died during the shows. So before the show, people that knew the story used to scream at her, Agárrate, Catalina. So, Catalina, please hold on tight before every single show, as trying to warn her to be extremely careful so that she doesn't have the same fate. So every show, before she came up to the stage, someone will scream, Agárrate, Catalina. Catalina, hold on tight. Agárrate, Catalina. So this phrase started to be yelled at every single show as a superstition. It all started as a superstition. But guess what happened the day that someone forgot to say that line to Catalina? Yes, you guessed it. She actually passed away that day. So ever since, she was 25 years old, and she died in a circus show in San Telmo. So ever since that day, now in Argentina we say Agárrate, Catalina when there is a situation that is about to happen or that we are unsure and we think it's not gonna be easy. Número 2. Hasta que las velas no ardan. So this phrase started being used in Buenos Aires in the brothels when electricity was not around, so electricity didn't exist at the time, and watches were actually a very luxurious item. People couldn't afford them. So the madame would give their clients one or several candles, depending on how much they have paid, and to light them up to get the services, right? And so until the client had to stay in the place until the candles were consumed. So that's where the phrase is coming, hasta que las velas no ardan. So we use this phrase nowadays to, instead of talking about the candles itself, but it's maybe your energy or until the very end. So, for example, I'm going to work, voy a trabajar hasta que las velas no ardan. Significa, it means I'm going to work so hard until I can't do anymore, until it's over, until I am done, basically. Número 3. Más loco o loca que una cabra. So we use this phrase to obviously say that someone is super crazy, and we're just using a comparison here. It's very common in Argentina. And this phrase is coming from just comparing a goat to, for example, a lamb. So the lamb, even when they're not with their mother anymore, when they don't need the mother anymore, they are still around their mom. Compared to goats, once goats are not with their moms anymore, they start jumping around, going crazy, and they go away. And you can see their moms still trying to look for them. That's why we think they're a little bit crazy and out of control. So that's where the expression is coming from. Número 4. No quiere más Lola. Lola was a sweet biscuit. It was around in the 20s, at the beginning of the 20th century in Argentina. It was part of the meals in the hospitals. So when someone passed away, they used to say around the hospital, no quiere más Lola. He doesn't want to eat that cookie anymore. And now we use it to express that someone doesn't want to put the effort anymore or doesn't want to do something. We say, no quiere más Lola.
No quiere más Lola.
Número 5. A cada chancho le toca su San Martín. So this phrase comes from the 11th of November, which is the day that we celebrate the day of San Martín de Tours, who was the patron saint of the city of Buenos Aires. This day was celebrated by eating a piglet. We use this phrase to talk about that each person gets what they deserve, either because of their good deeds or their bad deeds. Muy bien, estudiantes, esa es la clase de hoy. That is the end of today's lesson. We had a look at some typical phrases that we use all the time in Argentina, what they literally mean and where they come from. Muchas gracias y nos vemos la próxima clase. We'll see you next class. Adiós.
Agarrate, Catalina. No quiere más Lola.
¿Lola?
¿Alguien dijo Lola?
Hi, this is Rosa. We are here in Spanish Weekly Words. The topic for this week is Spanish cities. The first one is Barcelona. I love this city. The place I really like in Barcelona is Park Güell, also by Gaudí. It's amazing, like all the colors it has and all the sculptures. Quizás estudiaré mi máster en Barcelona. I might study my masters in Barcelona, which is true. The next one is Granada, my city. One of the most beautiful cities in Spain, for sure. Granada is in Andalusia, in the south of Spain. The Sacromonte neighborhood, where there are like these gypsy caves. Todo el mundo debería ir a Granada. Everyone should go to Granada. Pamplona. The thing Pamplona is known for is the San Fermin festival, the running of the bulls. There are people running, like free some bulls. The people try to escape from them. And there's a video on the San Fermines, also in SpanishPod101.com. So check it out if you're interested about the San Fermines. Cuando fui a Pamplona, todo el mundo llevaba una camiseta blanca y un pañuelo rojo. When I went to Pamplona, everyone was wearing a white t-shirt and a red scarf. The next one is Madrid. I guess you know Madrid is the capital of Spain. It's in the center. Normally when I go to Madrid, it's because I'm going to a concert or a musical. One of the most important places in Madrid is Museo del Prado. I guess it's the biggest museum in Spain. There are really a lot of monuments and it's a very nice city. Cuando el equipo de fútbol de Madrid gana, van a la Fuente de Cibeles. When the Madrid Football Club wins, they go to Cibeles fountain, and yeah, that's what they normally do. The next city is Sevilla. One of the most important monuments in Sevilla is La Giralda, which is the bell tower of the cathedral. La gente de Sevilla y la gente de Málaga no se llevan bien. People from Sevilla and people from Málaga don't get along very well. That's it. And that's the end of today's Spanish Weekly Words. I hope you learn a bit more about Spanish cities. Hope you liked it. See you. Hi everyone, my name is Rosa and we are here in Spanish Weekly Words and I'm about to see what the theme for today is. It's going through customs. We have aduana, which means customs. Tuve que pagar 50 euros de aduanas para recibir el paquete. I had to pay 50 euros of customs to receive the package. The next word is impreso de declaración, which is declaration form. En el impreso de declaración tuve que escribir el dinero que llevaba. In the declaration form, I had to write the amount of money I was carrying. Nacionalidad, nationality. Él tiene doble nacionalidad. He has double nationality. Pasaporte, which means passport. No necesito pasaporte para viajar a otros países de la Unión Europea. I don't need passport to travel to other countries in the European Union. Visado, this means visa. Mi visado de estudiante duraba un año. My student visa was for a whole year. And yeah, that's the end of today's Spanish Weekly Words. I hope you learned a lot and enjoyed it. And yeah, have a nice day. Take care. Bye. Hello everyone, my name is Rosa and this is Spanish Weekly Words and I'm about to discover what the theme for this week is. The theme for this week is tourism and the first word is estatua, which means statue. Hay una estatua muy rara en ese parque. There's a very bizarre statue in that park. Guía turístico, tour guide. En Tailandia, el guía turístico no hablaba muy bien inglés. In Thailand, the tour guide didn't speak English very well. Itinerario, which means itinerary. No planeé ningún itinerario. I didn't plan any itinerary. Parque, which means park. Me gustaría ir de picnic al parque este fin de semana. I'd like to go for a picnic in a park next weekend, though it's raining. Recorrer, which means tour. Recorrí toda la ciudad de Granada en un día. I toured the whole city of Granada in one day. And this is the end. I hope you learned something useful and I hope to see you next week. Bye! Hi everyone, my name is Rosa and this is Spanish Weekly Words and I'm about to discover what the theme for this week is. It is hotel in Spanish, cama doble, double bed. La cama doble es muy espaciosa. The double bed is very wide. Or the double bed is very spacious. I don't know the correct. The next one is llave, key. En algunos hoteles utilizan llaves magnéticas. In some hotels they use magnetic keys. Recepción, front desk. Pregunté en la recepción cómo ir a la catedral. I asked in the front desk how to go to the cathedral. Servicio de habitaciones, room service. Pedí algo de comer al servicio de habitaciones. I ordered something to eat to the room service. Reserva, which means reservation. Hice la reserva hace 2 meses. I made the reservation 2 months ago. And yep, this is the end of today's Spanish Weekly Words. I hope it was useful and you learned something with this video. And hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Hola, hello. Hola, which means hello. Hola is a very casual way to greet someone, so you can say hola to your friends and hola to your family and hola to everyone. Adios, goodbye. Adios is goodbye. I don't know why, but to me, adios sounds a bit harsh, so I don't really like saying adios. It sounds like you're not going to see that person again, maybe. So instead of adios, I would maybe use hasta luego, which is see you later. Buenos días, good morning. The next one is buenos días, which is good morning. Yep, you say when you see someone in the morning. So, buenos días, buenas tardes, good afternoon. Buenas tardes, which is good afternoon. Buenas tardes is used from 12 p.m. on. So yeah, maybe you are having lunch and you see someone, so you say, buenas tardes, buenas noches, good night. The next one is buenas noches, which means good night. Say like goodbye. When you are going to sleep, you say buenas noches. Is the last thing you say. Buenas noches. Sí, yes. The next phrase is sí, which means yes. For example, if someone asks me, do you want a slice of cheesecake? I would say sí. No, no. The next phrase is no, which means no. For example, do you want to do your homework? No. Nos vemos. See you later. The next one is nos vemos, which is see you later. Very casual. So yeah, you can say it to your friends or to your family, whatever, when you want to say like goodbye, see you soon. Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. The next one is hasta mañana, which means see you tomorrow. For example, if you are at university and you want to say goodbye to your friends, which you won't be seeing until tomorrow, you would say hasta mañana. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? What is your name? So the next phrase is ¿cuál es tu nombre? Which means what is your name? Mi nombre es Rosa. And yeah, what is your name? Tell me. Yo soy Rosa. I am Rosa. The next phrase is yo soy plus your name. So in my case, yo soy Rosa. And it means I am Rosa. What's your name? Encantado de conocerle. Nice to meet you. The next phrase is encantado de conocerle, which is nice to meet you. But the thing is that encantado de conocerle is a bit formal. So if you want to say it to your friends or, I don't know, family, you could say encantado de conocerte. Encantada de conocerte. Gracias. Thank you. The next phrase is gracias, which is thank you. If you want to say thank you very much, you say muchas gracias. Thank you for watching this video. Gracias por ver este video. Thank you. De nada. You're welcome. And the next phrase is de nada, which means you're welcome. So yep, whenever someone says thank you to you, make sure to say de nada. No hay de qué. Don't mention it. The next phrase is no hay de qué. Don't mention it. So if you do a favor to someone and that someone says thank you to you, gracias, you could say no hay de qué. Por favor, please. The next one is por favor, which means please. So if you want to ask for a favor to someone, you would say por favor. Por favor, suscribiros a este canal. Please subscribe to this channel. Perdón. Sorry. The next one is perdón, which is sorry. If you haven't heard something properly and you want the other person to repeat it, you can say perdón. Lo siento. Sorry. The next one is lo siento. I'm sorry. So if you did something wrong, that's what you say. So, for example, if you get late to class, you would say to the teacher, lo siento. Bienvenidos. Welcome. The next one is bienvenidos, which is welcome. Bienvenido. If someone is coming to your house, you can say bienvenidos. ¿Cómo estás? How are you? The next one is ¿cómo estás?, which means how are you? It's not a formal way to say it, but maybe a more informal way would be ¿qué tal? But yeah, I think you can use ¿cómo estás?, like with almost everyone. Like sometimes when you ask ¿cómo estás?, you want like a more in-depth answer. Like you don't want a simple I'm fine, but you really want to know how that person is. But maybe ¿qué tal? Is more casual, and it's just like you just want to hear I'm fine, thank you. For example, if you ask someone ¿cómo estás?, that person could tell you I'm not very good, I lost my job and I'm trying to find a new one, but something like that. ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? The next one is ¿qué hora es? What time is it? So now it's 4 o'clock, las 4 en punto. ¿Cuánto es? How much? The next one is ¿cuánto es? How much? So when you enter a shop and you want to know the price of something, you can say ¿cuánto es? Also, you can say ¿cuánto cuesta? It's the same thing. ¿Qué es eso? What is that? The next one is ¿qué es eso? What is that? Yeah, you can point at something and ask ¿qué es eso? ¿En dónde está el baño? Where is the bathroom? The next one is ¿en dónde está el baño? Where is the bathroom? Yeah, very useful phrase to know. So, for example, if you are in a restaurant and you want to go to the bathroom, you can ask the waiter, ¿dónde está el baño? And then the waiter indicates you and yeah, you go to the bathroom. No lo comprendo. I don't understand. The next one is no lo comprendo, which is I don't understand it. If someone is talking to you and you are a bit lost, you can say lo siento, sorry, no lo comprendo, I don't understand. If they are nice, they will try to explain it better to you. Also, instead of comprendo, you can also say entiendo. So, no lo entiendo. It would be the same thing. Camarero, waiter, camarero, waiter. Si no te gusta, díselo al camarero. If you don't like it, say so to the waiter. Like when I was younger, it was very awkward for me to say anything to the waiter, like I wouldn't complain or anything, but yeah, nowadays, if I think that they did something wrong, I think I would say it. Camarera, waitress, camarera, waitress. Esta camarera es muy simpática y alegre. This waitress is very kind and cheerful. In this case, and in a lot of words also in Spanish, like when you want to change the gender from masculine to feminine, you change the last O into an A. So that's the case with camarero and camarera. Menú, menu, menú, menu. Tenemos el menú en inglés y español. We have the menu in English and Spanish. Pedido, order, pedido, order. ¿Está listo el pedido de la mesa 12? Is the order for table 12 ready? Agua, water, agua, water. Me quedé sin agua. ¿Puedes pedirle más al camarero? I ran out of water. Can you ask the waiter for some more? Yeah, in Spain it's not like some other countries in which like you get water just when you're entering the restaurant. So if you want some, you have to order it, and you have to specify that you want tap water as well. Like you'll receive bottled water and you'll have to pay for that, obviously. But yeah, like normally they won't say anything, but you have to ask for it. Yeah. Postre, dessert. Postre, dessert. De postre, tráigame una tarta de Santiago, por favor. For dessert, bring me a Santiago cake, please. Santiago cake is typical from Galicia, from the northern part of Spain. It's mainly like prepared with almonds. And it's really good. Chef, 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 chef. Un buen chef tiene que ser muy estricto con la limpieza. A good chef has to be very strict with cleaning. So yeah, in Spanish we pronounce the CH like che, chef. You write it the same way as in English, but the pronunciation is a bit difficult, so be careful about that. Comida basura, fast food. Comida basura, fast food. No entiendo cómo la gente puede comer comida basura sabiendo que no es buena para la salud. I do not understand how people can eat fast food knowing that it's no good for one's health. So in Spanish is comida basura, which could translate literally like trash food. So it's not like fast, it's like trash. Restaurante, restaurant. Restaurante, restaurant. Este restaurante vietnamita tiene unos menús muy buenos entre semana. This Vietnamese restaurant has very good menus during the week. Cuenta, bill. Cuenta, bill. ¿Podría traerme la cuenta, por favor? Could you bring me the bill, please? So if you want to tell the waiter to bring you the bill without saying anything, like you just can do this to the waiter and they'll understand you and they'll bring you the bill.
Hola, soy Brenda, tu profesora de español. Today we're going to talk about the difference between ser and estar, but more specifically talking about personalidad versus emociones or estados. So specifically to talk about personality traits versus or compared to emotions and states. Remember that in English we have only one verb, which is the verb to be. But in Spanish we have two very distinctive verbs for the same to be that we have in English. We're going to have el verbo ser and estar. So when we learn Spanish, we have to learn when to use ser and when to use estar, because in English it's always the same. One of the main differences between these two verbs and when to use them is that we are going to use el verbo ser to talk about characteristics such as personality traits, versus estar, where we're going to use this verb to talk about emotions or emotional states. Vamos a ver algunos ejemplos. Let's have a look at some examples. Soy divertida. Soy activa. Soy sociable. Soy responsable. Soy amable. As you can see, all these examples we are talking about or describing my personality. What am I like? And all these personal traits, we're going to use el verbo ser and not estar. If we use el verbo estar in these examples, it will just not make sense because we are describing the personality, a characteristic. So it just doesn't really quite work if we use el verbo estar. Some examples with estar. Estoy cansada. Estoy bien. Estoy enferma. Estoy feliz. Estoy triste. As you can see in all these examples, we are talking about an emotional state. It's not my personality trait. I could be a very happy person, but I could be feeling sad at this moment, and therefore it's an emotional state. And that's why we're going to use it with the verbo estar and not ser. Sometimes, like I said before, if you pick the wrong verb, it will just simply not work. It won't make sense. It will be like choosing a completely different verb. I have sad instead of something like that. It will mean something like this when you pick a different verb, that it just doesn't make sense. But there are instances in which, depending on the adjective, we'll be able to use both verbs, but we'll be saying different things because one is going to be describing a personality trait and the other verb is going to be describing an emotional state. Let's have a look at some examples. Soy divertida versus estoy divertida. Soy aburrida versus estoy aburrida. Soy lista versus estoy lista. Soy borracha versus estoy borracha. Have a look at these examples. Can you actually see what the difference is between they're all correct, they're grammatically correct, we are saying things with these two verbs, but we are saying different things. So when we use it with the verbo ser, again, we are going to be describing a personality trait. When we use it with el verbo estar, we're going to be talking about an emotional state. Por ejemplo, soy divertida means I am fun. Estoy divertida means I am having fun. Can you see the difference there? One is a personality trait, the other one is a state. I am actually having fun right now. Same with aburrida. Soy aburrida, I am boring, versus I am bored. One is a state, the other one is a personality trait. Soy lista significa I am smart. In this case, if we say with estar, estoy lista significa I am ready, and you can see that here the verb is changing entirely the meaning of lista, from smart to ready. One is a state, I'm ready, the other one is a personality characteristic. Y soy borracha means I am a drunk, right? And estoy borracha, I am a little tipsy. So that you can see there, if you actually use the verb wrongly, you can either be saying to someone you're drunk or you are a drunk, right? So that's why it's so important to actually learn when to use ser and when to use estar. Muy bien. So remember, if we are describing a characteristic or a personality trait, we're going to use ser, and when we want to describe a state or an emotional state, an emotion, we're going to use el verbo estar. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you in the next class. Adiós. Hasta luego.
Hola amigos de SpanishPod101.com. Yo soy Efraín.
Y yo soy Diego.
Y hoy vamos a ver un tema del cual estamos emocionados y expectantes acerca de lo que vas a aprender. Y es tipping en México.
Así es, entonces vamos a verlo.
¡Woo! Bien, si tú vienes a México por placer o por negocios, nosotros queremos darte una guía rápida de cómo dar propinas, cuánto dar y a quiénes darles, ya sea para retribuir el servicio o como una forma de expresar el agradecimiento que tienes.
Así es, el primer grupo es para los waiters and waitresses, los meseros en unos restaurantes. Entonces, generalmente, si el servicio fue de calidad, tus alimentos llegaron bien en tiempo y también calientes, es muy común dejarles entre un 10 y un 20% sobre el total de la cuenta. Es una práctica muy usual para demostrar el agradecimiento a esta persona que nos brindó su atención durante toda nuestra estancia en el restaurante. Otro también importante es de los meseros y meseras en los bares. Generalmente y dependiendo de los bares, por un pequeño trago como de tequila, no es tequila por cierto. Okay. Yeah, it was tequila. So, para un trago, a drink, es común dejarles por trago el equivalente a $1 o 20 pesos por trago. Esto no es siempre necesario. Sin embargo, es una muy buena práctica.
Bien, también tenemos el Hotel Estar. Y bueno, el botones o el belly hop es quien te ayuda con tus maletas, pero también te indica dónde está tu cuarto o te da información acerca de los servicios del hotel. A esta persona se le da desde 25 hasta 50 pesos de propina. Y atención, también tenemos a las mucamas, también llamadas en inglés housekeeping staff, ¿ok? Y a ellas se les da, o a ellos, se les da desde 20 pesos hasta 50 pesos, dependiendo de qué tan sucio hayas dejado tu cuarto.
Así es. Ahora, algo muy importante con las mucamas es que es recomendable dejar la propina on a daily basis, de una forma diaria, debido a que las mucamas no siempre son las mismas que pasan al cuarto. Entonces no es una buena idea dejar toda la propina al final de la estancia, sino más bien diariamente.
Ok.
Ahora, algo relacionado con esto son los All Inclusive Resorts, también llamados en español los hoteles, que tienen todo incluido, tienen la comida y prácticamente todos los servicios, las bebidas, todo incluido. Aunque ellos te dicen que la propina ya está incluida con el precio, La realidad es que muchas de las personas que trabajan en estos lugares ganan un salario modesto, por lo que siempre es apreciado un poco de retribución en forma de propina. Quizás por servicio podrías dar entre 10 y 20 pesos.
Ah, genial. Bien, también tenemos otra forma de retribución. Bueno, no otra forma, sino alguien más que presta sus servicios. Y estos son los guías y también los choferes del tour. Por ejemplo, si un guía pues te da un tour de todo un día, se acostumbra a darle desde el 10 hasta el 20% del costo total del tour. Ajá. Pero si se trata de un guía que te da un tour de varios días, se le acostumbra a dar una propina mínima de $3 hasta $5 como mínimo. De ahí hasta donde tú quieras. Pero también tenemos a los choferes. A ellos se les da una propina diaria alrededor de 10 pesos o 20 pesos diarios por sus servicios.
Así es. Y bueno, algo también muy cercano a los choferes son los taxistas. ¿Qué pasa con los taxistas? Bueno, pues a ellos generalmente no se les deja propina. Sin embargo, una práctica muy común en los mexicanos es redondear, lo que quiere decir llegar al próximo dígito hacia arriba. De esta forma, si en la cuenta del taxi cobran, por ejemplo, 47 pesos, 48 pesos, lo más usual es solamente darles 50 pesos. Esa es una práctica también muy común. También dentro de los hoteles hay algo que a todos nos encanta y es el servicio de spa. El
excelente.
Servicio de spa, por lo general, sí, a veces el precio es un poco elevado, sin embargo, es un hábito dejarle propina a la persona que nos dio ese servicio. Ahora, esta propina puede ir por lo general entre un 15 hasta un 20%.
El siguiente son los gas station attendants, o los que te asisten y te sirven la gasolina pues en la gasolinería. Bien, aquellas y estas personas no se les acostumbra a dar propina. O sea, para que quede en claro, no siempre se les da propina, a menos que hagan un servicio extra. No es raro ver a una de estas personas limpiando el vidrio de tu carro, checando el aire de tus llantas, y ahí sí te puedes sentir con libertad de darles de 5 a 10 pesos. Es más o menos el promedio del dinero que se les da.
Así es. Por último tenemos a los chicos y a los señores que les llamamos los grocery baggers. Generalmente en los supermercados, al pasar por la caja, hay algunas personas que en México los llamamos los cerillos, y por lo general son chicos menores de 16 años y también señores de la tercera edad. Estas personas les permiten trabajar en el supermercado, sin embargo, no reciben sueldo alguno. No les paga la empresa por estar ahí. Entonces, su salario es gracias a toda la propina que le dan las personas que van al supermercado. Por lo general y como una regla, se les puede dar por bolsa $1. Hay algunos que incluso se ofrecen a ayudarte a llevar las bolsas a tu auto, en cuyo caso le podrías aumentar 10 pesos más sobre lo que ya le diste. Eso es un excelente hábito para tener en cuenta.
Claro, y bueno, pues ya para terminar, te vamos a dar algunos tips para dar propina en México. Tips for tipping in Mexico, ¿ok?
Yeah, tips for tipping.
Bueno, el primero de ellos es que consideres dentro de tu presupuesto las propinas. No vengas a México sin dejar esa raya, sin dejar ese rango de dinero para propinas, exclusivo para propinas.
Así es. Entonces considéralo cuando estés preparando tu budget, tu presupuesto. Otra cosa importante es que guardes las monedas. Las monedas son lo que te va a ayudar para dar la propina. Entonces, si vas a comprar algo, es preferible comprarlo con billetes y guardar las monedas para poder pagar, pues, el transporte o para las propinas.
Claro.
Es un excelente tip ese.
Y bueno, por último, nosotros te recomendamos ampliamente que no solamente des una propina, también acompaña esta propina con un gracias, con una muestra de aprecio, algo que diga que estás realmente agradecido con el servicio.
Exactamente. No necesariamente tienes que dar dinero para mostrar el agradecimiento, sino solamente una sonrisa y un gracias a la persona que te dio ese servicio es suficiente.
Bueno, gracias por vernos.
Eso es todo por hoy, mis queridos amigos de SpanishPod101.com. Recuerden que si les gustó este video, no olviden darle like y también compartirlo con otros estudiantes que puedan encontrarlo útil. Por supuesto que nos vemos en el siguiente video, chicos.
Sus comentarios, escríbanlos.
Los leemos, por supuesto. ¡Hasta luego!
Hasta luego.
Hey there, friends of SpanishPod101.com. I'm Efrain.
And I'm Diego.
And today we are here in downtown of Mexico. And we are going to talk about 5 places that you must visit here in downtown. So, enjoy
the
it!
video. So, Mexico City is the capital of Mexico. And we chose downtown not only because we live nearby, but also because it is very important in history and also culture. So in this place you can find all the accents from all around Mexico, and also we want to tell you that this place is very, very crowded at any time of the day.
Oh yeah. So Diego, why don't we visit the first place?
Yeah, let's go there.
El primer lugar en nuestra lista es el Palacio de Bellas Artes, que tenemos a nuestras espaldas. Este lugar me encanta.
¿Por qué te encanta?
A mí me gusta mucho porque casi siempre o muy seguido hay algún concierto de talla internacional, hay un restaurante dentro de este palacio, pero también, si tú quieres, puedes subir y ver los murales de Orozco o de Diego Rivera.
Pintores muy famosos mexicanos.
Así es. ¿Por qué no la vamos a ver por dentro?
Claro, vamos.
El segundo lugar, Diego, es el Palacio de Correspondencia. Y este lugar es fantástico. Además es un lugar donde puedes encontrar paz en medio de todo el ajetreo de la ciudad. Inclusive se encuentra a un lado de Bellas Artes y muy cerca de la calle Madero.
Así es. Es importante mencionar que este edificio es de libre acceso y también pues actualmente se encuentra vigente. Entonces las personas pueden enviar un correo, una postal, a cualquier parte del estado de la República o a cualquier parte del extranjero, cualquier otro país.
Claro, y además tiene una exposición de estampillas a través de la cual tú puedes saber de la historia de México en medio de todo este Palacio de Correspondencia.
Bien, ¿por qué no vamos a verlo?
Vamos.
Ok amigos, este lugar les puede resultar familiar porque aquí se grabó la primera escena de la última película de James Bond, Spectre. Estoy hablando de la Plaza Manuel Tolsá, que se ubica al lado del Palacio de Correspondencia, el que vimos hace un momento. Y bueno, aquí te queremos mostrar 3 edificios de gran importancia.
El primero de ellos es el MUNAL, el Museo Nacional de Arte. el cual está detrás de nosotros y personalmente es uno de mis favoritos, ya que por dentro es hermoso, pero también sus exposiciones son muy ricas, ya que en una de ellas se encuentra uno de mis pintores mexicanos favoritos, Velasco, quien es un paisajista muy conocido a lo largo del país. Y además de él, hay otros pintores mexicanos y otros pintores extranjeros que son expuestos en este lugar.
Así es. Enfrente del Munal tenemos el Palacio de Minería. Este palacio es muy reconocido porque en su entrada cuenta con 4 meteoritos que se han encontrado en territorio mexicano. Además, actualmente es una escuela activa en donde se imparten cursos de la universidad más prestigiosa de Latinoamérica, la UNAM.
Y el último lugar que nosotros queremos darte referencia es el Museo Manuel Tolsá, el cual se encuentra en esta esquina. Y no te dejes llevar por su entrada. Por dentro es grande y además de eso cuenta con una amplia gama de exposiciones que tú puedes visitar y yo estoy seguro de que será una visita satisfactoria, porque además de todo es bastante barato.
Es cierto. El siguiente lugar es la calle Madero, que se encuentra justo a nuestras espaldas. Es una calle completamente peatonal en donde podemos encontrar muchos comercios y restaurantes, también artistas callejeros y claro, es también una avenida principal ya que conecta el Palacio de Bellas Artes con el Zócalo. Si estás buscando vida nocturna en la Ciudad de México, específicamente en el centro, ese es el lugar al que tienes que venir, porque aquí abundan los bares para todas las edades.
Así es, y ahora vamos a terminar nuestro top con el último lugar, el Zócalo capitalino. Vamos para allá.
Ok chicos, finalmente nos encontramos en el Zócalo capitalino, el lugar más emblemático del centro de la Ciudad de México. Este lugar tiene una gran relevancia no solo debido a que aquí se encuentra la bandera sobre el asta, sino también porque aquí hay una gran variedad de eventos que corren a lo largo del año. Uno de los eventos son las exposiciones o la venta de productos artesanales de todas las partes de México. También podemos ver conciertos y manifestaciones o celebraciones de gran importancia a nivel nacional.
Así es, y también queremos mostrarles algunos lugares que están alrededor de este Zócalo. Bien, detrás de nosotros se encuentra la Catedral Metropolitana. Dentro de ella podemos ver las mejores manifestaciones religiosas y las tradiciones que nuestro México tiene. Es un lugar muy hermoso, no solo por su arquitectura, sino también por su gente. Así que es un lugar que no te puedes perder si visitas el centro capitalino.
Por último tenemos el Palacio de Gobierno, que se encuentra a un costado del Zócalo. En dicho palacio tenemos el balcón presidencial y sobre este la campana. Esta campana es tocada cada 15 de septiembre, es decir, en el Día de la Independencia de México, que es cuando el presidente sale a dar el grito de independencia.
Así es. So, this is the end of this video, friends from SpanishPod101.com. Give us your thumbs up if you want to visit any of these places and write your comment down below. We will reply to them, of course.
Yeah.
So,
see you in our next video.
woo!
Hi everybody, my name is Rosa. Welcome to the 2000 Core Spanish Words and Phrases video series. Each lesson will help you learn new words, practice, and review what you've learned. Okay, let's get started. First is infección, infection, infección, infección, infection, infección de la piel, skin infection, infección de la piel, gripe, flu, gripe, gripe, flu, temporada de gripe, flu season, temporada de gripe, trompeta, trumpet, Trompeta. Trompeta. Trumpet. Trompeta de latón. Brass trumpet. Trompeta de latón. Puerta de embarque. Departure gate. Puerta de embarque. Puerta de embarque. Departure gate. Puerta de embarque 43. Departure gate 43. Puerta de embarque 43. Sociología. Sociology. Sociología. Sociología. Sociology. Estudio de la sociología. Study of sociology. Estudio de la sociología. Auxiliar de vuelo. Flight attendant. Auxiliar de vuelo. Auxiliar de vuelo. Flight attendant. Soy auxiliar de vuelo. I am a flight attendant. Soy auxiliar de vuelo. Asiento. Sit. Asiento. Asiento. Sit. Cojín del asiento. Seat cushion. Cojín del asiento. Medicina. Medicine. Medicina. Medicina. Medicine. Campo de la medicina. Field of medicine. Campo de la medicina. Clase económica. Economy class. Clase económica. Clase económica. Economy class. Asientos en clase económica. Economy class seats. Asientos en clase económica. Vuelo. Flight. Vuelo. Vuelo. Flight. Tarjeta de embarque para el vuelo. Boarding pass for the flight. Tarjeta de embarque para el vuelo. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. First, you will hear a word or phrase in English. Respond in Spanish, then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say infection? Infección. Infección. And how to say flu? Gripe. Gripe. What about trumpet? Trompeta. Trompeta. Do you remember how to say departure gate? Puerta de embarque. Puerta de embarque. Let's try sociology. Sociología. Sociología. What about flight attendant? Auxiliar de vuelo. Auxiliar de vuelo. Now let's see if you remember how to say sit. Asiento. Asiento. Another one. What about medicine? Medicina. Medicina. Do you remember how to say economy class? Clase económica. Clase económica. And finally, do you remember how to say flight? Vuelo. Vuelo.
Well done! See you next time! Adios! When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Spanish ebook before it's gone.